Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man, Tim Swain, and guess who is back on the show today? A couple from Uganda showing us some of that Wakanda love. Brandon and Hajara, you guys are back.
Yes.
How you guys feeling?
We're good. We're feeling good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, let me tell you something. I see the glory of the Lord on both of your faces. Y'all are together. Y'all look so happy, so refreshed, so renewed. Look like you just can't get enough of each other. So how does it feel to be in the same country at the same time? And which country exactly are you in?
You go ahead, babe. Let them know.
Right now we're in Uganda. It's really nice to be back together because we were apart for some time, for like 8 months. We couldn't even celebrate our first wedding anniversary together because of the Ebola that got in Uganda. You couldn't travel back to Uganda. So yeah, it's been a bit tough being apart for all that long because I think it's the first time we've been that apart since we've been married. Yeah, so we celebrated our first year in marriage together and 4 years together as a couple.
Yeah, so we're ecstatic to be back together. You know, the wait was too long, so you know, it was a long time coming, brother.
I can imagine. I can imagine. All right, so you guys were separate for 8 months. I mean, almost a year. So tell me, what was the first thing that you did when you guys got back together? Maybe not all the details, but some of the stuff y'all did. But what were some of the other first things that you guys did when you got back together?
Well, I mean, the first thing we did, we started filming. We had people filming us, you know, me coming back to the airport. So it was a big hug, big embrace. She had her brother with her. We drove back home and and then did we do anything after that? Or we just pass out?
Do you want to give up? They said no details.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like late. I think it was like what, like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning when I got in. So we just came straight home.
His flight was really in the morning, so early. So we go to the airport. I think I picked him around 6 a.m. So it was already during the morning. So it was just a big hug and embrace. It's been a while and all of that. And then
we grabbed some breakfast.
Yeah, we grabbed some breakfast. And then
just
they just came back home.
Let's talk for a second about you guys are together now, but like this is something I think that people want to know. How do you keep the romance alive when you are long distance? You ain't got to share all your details, but I mean, how do you do it? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are in your position and who are they just need to know because they want to enhance their relationships. How do you do it?
Well, I know the thing that I like to do is, you know, we stay communicating every day, text messages, you know, video calls. But, you know, sometimes you just got to let the person know that you're thinking about them. And what I like to do sometimes is get Hajara flowers. I have a flower lady out here that I use sometimes. Hajara loves flowers. So sometimes, you know, just out of the blue, I'll have some flowers delivered to her job or maybe here to the apartment. And she loves flowers. So I know if she's ever down or I can see she's not in a good mood, she needs a, you know, like a pick me up, I'll order some flowers and, you know, that normally puts her in another good mood. But the main thing I would say that helps us is we're always laughing and joking with each other.
Stuff. I mean, do you guys have like virtual dates that you go on? Like, do you go to somewhere, Hajara, and you go somewhere, Brandon? You guys are together on the screen. I've seen like some of these things online where like somebody's at the screen, literally with a blanket on, and the other person has another blanket on. I mean, I don't know. Are you guys doing virtual dates as well to kind of keep that romance going while you are all away?
No, we've never done that, but that's a good idea, man. I'm gonna have to try that out next time we go back. Yeah, that's a real good idea.
It's a bit hard with time difference because he goes to bed, I'm going to work. I'm going to bed, he's going to work. So the time difference really doesn't match up. Like he's doing something, I'm also doing something at a certain time, and we are both doing different activities. So getting a time to be like 11 p.m. I'm going to sleep, and he's waking up to go to work. So doing virtual dates and then the sleeping thing, we are total on time, different time zones. So yeah.
Probably the closest thing we ever got to doing that is, I know sometimes, you know, when I go out, I'll video call her to kind of make her part of the group.
Yeah.
I'll let her say hi to all the homeboys and everything. And she'll do the same thing when she's out, you know, with her girls. She'll call me and say hi, and I'll say hi to all the girls that she's with. So we try to include each other sometimes, you know, when we're going out. But yeah, babe, we need to try that virtual date. That's a good idea.
Try virtual. Listen, try it. Keep it different. Never let them know your next move. You know, do something different.
Yeah.
So Brandon, you've been in the country now for, or this particular trip will be about a month, and this is your longest time in the country. So tell me, are you learning any some language to communicate with your wife? Are you learning some more about the culture? What have you been learning about the culture since you've been in Uganda this time?
Let's see, what have I learned new about the culture? I had one culture shock. It wasn't that big of a deal, but we had to go to the bank in order to get a bank statement. And normally I'm used to just, you know, getting my bank statement on my cell phone or getting it emailed to me or whatever. But in Uganda, it's a whole process. We have to go to the bank, we have to fill out these forms, wait in line, then we get to see a service manager. He looks up our account. He tells us, okay, your bank statement is gonna be 9 pages. And on top of that, it's gonna cost you 5,000 shillings per page. I'm like, what? It's gonna cost us money to get a bank statement? So we pay him the money, we get the bank statement, then he has to stamp it and sign it, and then you have your official bank statement. Instead of us, like in America, we just get on our cell phone and have it emailed to us, or we print it out. It takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you do it here in Uganda, it's like half a day to get your bank statement. So that's the thing I would notice, you know, is things you take for granted in America that when you come over here and you have to invest more time to do it, and you're like, wow, things, you know, like some things are really easy in America compared to out here, but then it's the other way around. I had it flipped on me. I got sick on my last trip here, and I had to go to the pharmacy. Out here is a lot of self-healing. You don't like necessarily go to the doctor, pay your copay, then get the doctor to fill out a prescription, then go to the pharmacy and get it. You can just go straight to the pharmacy and tell them what's wrong with you, and they'll give you whatever. And you just pay for it, and you go home and you start treatment. So that I kind of like. That part I kind of like. So there's some things about the culture that shock me, and then there's other things about the culture, you know, that I like.
Wow. Now Hajara, you guys are married for a little bit over a year. What about, are there some new things that you're learning just about branding in general, or new things that you're learning about some aspects of American culture?
No, really. Since we really took time dating, literally near 2 years. Of course, there is a difference when you finally meet someone and how they act, and that was my biggest fear, like him changing. Like you talk to someone, they are all nice and all of that, and then you get to meet them and you be like, who the hell have I been talking to? And they are totally different person. But no, he's the same. There is nothing new.
Well, I mean, I will say I have shown her a different side of me. Like, you know, in America, you can roast somebody or you can hoorah, you know, give them a hard time. Yeah. I've been giving her an extra hard time on this trip. I don't know, I've just been getting on her nerves and making fun of her, giving her a hard time. And she's like, you never talked to me like this before. Why are you talking to me like this? So I've noticed, you know, the longer we stay married, the more stuff is coming out of our personality that didn't come out before. And I'm sure we're going to experience that more once we start to live together permanently. But yeah, I've been giving her a hard time, but she's, you know, she gets me back. She waits and then she gets me back, and then I can't say anything.
Yeah,
so.
I think we're both jokers. Like that was from the beginning. Like we joke and make fun of each other sometimes. So it wasn't like I'm in shock. Like he's coming up with funny stuff, making fun of me, making a hard time. Yeah, so it's no surprise.
So you mentioned potentially being together permanently. Are there plans on the horizon for that to happen anytime soon?
Well, we're hoping the end of this year or the beginning of 24. It just depends on how long it takes for immigration and lawyers to get together and do their thing. You know, we've submitted everything that we needed to submit, so now we're just playing the waiting game. You know, as far as we know right now, they're still processing our files, and the status hasn't changed yet. But
Yeah.
I think we submitted everything like around May of last year. So, you know, we still probably have a few more months before we hear anything back, but we're hoping to have her in the United States the end of this year or the beginning of 24. That's the plan.
Yeah, and I think for us, it's not even about
Wow.
who is going anywhere or is going. We just want to have that freedom. Like, I don't have to wait for my husband like to come and see me all the time. Or you just want that freedom. Like, if you want to go be with your husband, I can easily go. And if I want to be with my family, I can do that. Because actually, I love it here. It's really, we have fun here and all of that. But I just want to have that freedom. I'm married, but I've never even met my in-laws because they can't fly to Uganda. They can't really manage that journey. So yeah, it's about having that freedom.
I hear that you guys are now ramping up your personal content development, and now instead of being the focus of the content, you guys are now being the content developers. So tell us more about the content that you guys are seeking to produce and how that's been going for you.
Okay, well, we started our matchmaking show. So we've done several interviews. We're trying to help people find love. It doesn't matter, you know, which country, which continent you're from. It doesn't matter. If you're looking for love and you want our help and you're willing to come on the show, you know, we were more than glad to have you. We've done about maybe 2 or 3 interviews so far since we've been in Uganda, and we plan to continue to do the interviews once I go back to the United States. But that's the goal, is to shift the focus from me and Hajara and transition into the interviews. You know, we have more fun, and we think we'll get a better response if we include the community, our subscribers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If we include the community, our subscribers, and get them more involved, I think, you know, that'll help our channel grow. And I know one of the goals of our channel is that we want to make it more comfortable, whether it's for African Americans or Africans in the UK, Africans wherever, to feel comfortable to come back to Africa and visit, to show, hey, you know, don't believe all the bad stereotypes. You know, there's good stuff out here too. Come out here and see the whole picture. So I want people to see how me and Hajara interact, how it is for us in Uganda, and feel inspired and more comfortable to come back to Africa and visit. You know, one of our episodes was just us going grocery shopping, you know, for the day. So we went to the regular grocery store, and then we went to the market. And we came back home and we cooked. We had family and friends over. It was just a normal day for us. You know, like anything normal you would do in America. I want people to see that, hey, you can have that same experience here or even better.
And I think it's a great thing that you guys are not only demystifying the continent, but you're also trying to reconcile love with people from across the diaspora and beyond. So let me ask you a question regarding that. What is the feedback that you guys have seen from the dating show? Like, who is maybe your dominant audience? And have you seen some trends from those people that you bring on your show?
Go ahead, baby. I'll let you take that one.
The show is going on well, but the male like getting more attention than the women. Like we make male searching. Africans are into, can I say the word white people? Africans are into people of color. Can I say people of color?
And most of our subscribers are women.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, you know, they're looking for a white savior, so to speak. I mean, but we get that a lot, but we try to say, you know, that's not, you know, our niche. That's not all we're into. We're into bringing in all people, not just white people. So we want to make that clear, because a lot of times the ladies get a misunderstanding. You know, they see me, they automatically think I'm a white man, and so they're like, Hajara, hook me up with a white man. I want a white man to save me. And I just sit back. Sometimes I just ignore the comment. I'm like, because I get tired of telling them all the time, look, that's not what we do. We don't focus just in on white people. We focus in on everybody.
Yeah.
But
and I don't know why people are really into white people. Like
yeah, you know, that's another stereotype I think that needs to be has some light shed on. Like, you know, try to change that mindset that
love is love.
Love is love, and your savior doesn't have to be white. Your savior can be any color. You know, as long as they love you and they treat you right, that's all that matters. But there's that stereotype about, you know, about getting a white man and your whole life is gonna change, and he bring you to America and it's this big upgrade. But you know, there's can be a scary side to that. You know, somebody could come over to America and the person flip the script on them and not be the person that they thought they were. And now they're in a situation that they wish that they weren't in.
Yeah, because I actually had a story like most of white men that come to Africa, they always being like older men, like 60, their 60s and 70s, or like, and they end up getting these young girls. And then when they take them like for future use. When they take them, like it's like taking care of them, not going to homes, like those retirement, what do they call them?
Retirement homes?
No, retirement homes, yeah. Not for them to go to retirement homes, for these girls to take care of them once they take them. And people are always shocked when they see me with Brandon because they think he's white. And or most of the time, like white men, they don't date girls like me. They always go for dark, skinny girls. And then I'm thick. And then when when they see me, they're like, a white man loves a girl like you. Like they don't always go for girls like me. They always go for girls like skin and all of that. And they always go deep in the villages to take advantage of these girls. So whatever it is, I think when you're looking for someone, you should like just look for someone who actually cares about you and love you, not the color.
Yeah.
Well, so that's interesting that you guys say that. And I mean, I know that the focus of today's time is not to do a historical lesson on the kind of legacy of colonization and its paternalization of, you know, how we see ourselves and how we see our saviors and all that. That'll be for another show. But I do think that it's interesting that these things are coming up, because I do believe that, especially when you look at the continent and you do look at the history of colonization and how so many of us have been subject to just recent histories of, we may not call it racial trauma, but that's what it is. And just this idea of, you know, everything from the West is great, it's amazing, it's incredible. And then even the way we see ourselves on the continent is oftentimes in a way where we need to be rescued by someone. And so I think it'd be interesting how you guys balance being able to help navigate people who are sincerely looking for genuine love, and versus those individuals that are looking for, as we say, a come up. So I think it'd be great for you guys to really explore that more. And I think it could be also awesome, and I'll be looking forward to it, to maybe hearing about stories, not necessarily horror stories, but hearing stories that shows the perspective of, you know, those individuals who got everything that they wanted in a relationship, regardless of where it came from, but still had to navigate the real challenges, the day-to-day challenges of, you know, finding their dream person, but still have to navigate those realities of love, you know, in life. So, yeah, so I think that'd be awesome. So, guys, listen, if you're looking right now at this video, the description for their YouTube is right there in the description. So make sure you check it out, because, listen, I'm going to be looking at some of these stories. I'm going to be reading some of the comments for myself so I can be entertained about what these individuals are saying. So guys, listen, I want to know, last time we talked about advice that you would give people who are looking to do a long distance relationship like yours. But today I want to flip the script, right? So I want to ask you a question, and this is going to be for folks that are out there watching. Right? So honestly speaking, I want you guys to be real, all right? Be 100% because people need to know.
Yeah.
What I want you to share a story of the last time you have maybe just been frustrated with each other. And then I want you to share a time where you have looked at each other and realized, yes, we definitely made the right decision. So we're gonna start with the time when you really for real have been frustrated with one another. Tell us a story.
I think for me, the first time I was really, really frustrated with Brandon because I'm really, really patient. Like it's really hard to
Yeah, she
really
has a
piss
lot of
me off.
patience.
I'm really patient. I think I was really frustrated with him was when he was refusing to come to Uganda. Like he was like you they always, as we're saying, they will get all the bad stuff. And it's like it's not safe. So I got on the phone like, do I look like I live in a bush? Do I look like something is wrong with me? Why wouldn't you come? So I was really frustrated with him and I had even to be like, get off my phone, get off phone, I'll call you later. But then I called him back like in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was my first time ever seeing her get mad, and
yeah,
I was shocked that she called back in 5 minutes. I thought it was going to be at least maybe 2 or 3 days before we spoke. But
yeah.
she called me back. She's like, "Okay, I've cooled down. You know, let's talk about this." And we talked about it, and then here I am.
I think it would be great. I wish we were all in the same location. We need to have like a big panel discussion with intercultural couples talking about those real intercultural challenges that exist. Because I think it's really good information, because I think the longer we're married, the more stuff comes out, and you have an opportunity to really search within the depths, right, of your love for one another, to find common ground, to find reconciliation. And I think you guys being in two different places, you're constantly coming into those cultural challenges. I think it'd be very different, like if one person was in one place, because like the other person has to be forced to adapt to their culture. It's kind of like learning the language. Like if you're in a country where they're speaking one language and they don't speak your language, by force you have to learn. Versus where they do speak your language and there's another language, so you don't really have to learn all the way. So it's almost like you guys are learning how to love in different languages, which is a great testament of, just the work that marriage produces.